Hey, you Tubi troopers. Thanks for stopping by. I see old Steve-O today. Got the old mud puppy here. I'm going to be working on it. She's all... That's how I normally store it. I got to keep everything covered up. You want to keep the sun off all your gear. You can buy these little old cheap tarps down to Harbor Freight. Look at there. I got 49 reins in there. Yeah. Main thing, keep the sun off of your gear. We don't know, the sun will eat this stuff up. Good nylon stuff. Yeah. This reel has got to come out. A little rust there. Got to fix that. Yeah. I've got to get this reel. All I got to do is take these two bolts out. This whole reel will slide out of this hole. Look at this tarp. It's falling apart here. It's time for a change out. Yeah. And what we're going to do tonight, guys, I'm going to take you with me. And we're going to go after some mullet. We're going to do some nighttime gigging. We're going after the mullet. We're going after the sheephead. We're going after the black drum. Yeah, I'm going to leave this motor on. This belt comes off. It's off of the reel. This idler thing stays on. This reel's got to come out because there's a cooler sitting here. We're going to stand up here at the front end and gig. You'll see that whole operation. Yeah. I do this. I like to start November, but I was down there, been down there doing some walks down there where I launch, and there's mangroves down there, and them mangroves had just been blowing up. As I walk down through there, the water's not far. You can hear them big fish just slamming in them mangroves. So yes, we're going after them. They're there. So yeah, I got to get this thing cleaned out. She's been a while. You can see it's full of leaves. And so what I have to do on this deal, I have to work the moon. And what I do is work on a dark moon. If you got any moonlight out there, you can forget it. You won't get any fish. They just they'll just see you. So you work a dark moon, and I got to work a high tide, and I've got to work, so I got like a 4-hour window that I have to work. My window tonight is high at 11, so I will launch at 10. That'll give me 3 to 4 hours of working time out there, and that's usually plenty. After 4 hours of this, you're pretty well done. And so yeah. And I also have to have, on this particular place I hunt, I have to have I've got to have an east wind. And I put my boat right up against them mangroves, and I hunt right along them mangroves. I've got several, I don't know, 1,000 feet of mangroves that I hunt. And I can just keep going in a complete big circle. By the time I hit the end, I can come back out around, go way down, come back in where I started, and there'll be all fresh new fish coming into that area. So I can just keep going a big circle and just keep hunting for a full 4 hours. There's a big island out there. I can go around this island, get on the backside, work the different winds and such, but there's one particular stretch of mangroves that I like to hit. I've been doing this for years, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, and so anyway, you got to go when you can go. I mean, you know, you have to go at a drop of a hat, you know? Yeah, drop of a hat. That's how you got to work this deal, because you're working with the weather. You're working with nature, all right? So you work with nature, like I always tell you to do, you know? So let me get this whole thing rigged out. I'm going to leave this motor in. I got a heavy duty trash bag I'm going to put over this thing, a real thick wall trash bag, and I'll rope it down, keep the salt water. I don't want the salt water eating this thing up. Everything else I got in here, water doesn't bother it much. So I got to get everything set up. I got to get my other battery in. I run my troller I run my trolling motor. This not only fires up this outboard here, this puppy here, which I hardly use. If I go around the side of the island, if I go around the other end of the island, I'll fire this thing up. It's a Yamaha 9.94 stroker. It's been a pretty good motor. I mean, I've been quite impressed with this thing. Get this gas line plugged in. I need to fire this thing up and give it a go here and see if it's okay. Yeah, so we'll get this puppy fired up, and then I will, I guess next time you see me, we'll be out on the water, and I'm going to launch like 10 o'clock tonight. And let's see what time it is now. It's 2:20, so I got plenty of time. Get all this rigged up. I've got to get, like I said, that reel has got to go. This catch box here, this catch box here has got to go. This is in the way. All I got to do is take out 2 screws in there. That thing comes out of there. I've got this thing designed where I can just take it down and do different things with it. What I do, I fly fish out of this thing. As you know, I catfish out of this thing. And I gig out of this. And yeah, so there's quite a few things I do with this boat. And I have modified this. This thing is it's a 12, this is called a 1236. It's only 12 feet long. It's a 1236 G3 John boat. I didn't like it. I bought this thing, I didn't like it, especially when I threw this reel in. When I threw this reel in here, you can see where the water line is. Just the water was, I had about this, when I was out there, I had about that much freeboard is all. I had 5-6 inch freeboard on this thing. And I'm up here running this catfish line, pulling this line in. And if you get out there in a chop, 1.5 2 foot chop, you're getting water splashing over the front end. So that'll pucker you up. So what I did, I took 1/2 inch plywood and I bolted on this thing. And what I did is came under here and I added 1 piece underneath here because of this rib here. Because of this, I had to add a piece because it overhung. So to get this flat here, I added a piece which is about 6 inches under here, and it shoved right up under the gunnel, and I sandwiched it up. I sandwiched it up and bolted it through, and then I also put plywood here, and all I used was 1/4 inch galvanized hardware. Used carriage bolts, and that's how this is. And then I use this first strip here, very simple, quick system. Sandwiched up a first strip here, a 1x2, and then a 2x2 out here. And then I took a body grinder. It was a little uneven. I took a body grinder with a real heavy grit, and I just went flying down through here and shaped it. That's all I did. And then for a stiffener on the front, I run a 2x here. And then of course, when you see here, my main line comes in here for the catfishing operation. But for running my, I've got a 50-pound thrust riptide motor goes on here. You'll see that out there. And it bolts through here. It splits and goes on these two. These 2 uprights stay in, and this bolts in. I bolt my trolling motor here. Very simple operation. These are cop headlights. I've showed you that before. They work out good. So that's the deal, and I will see you guys out on the water tonight, and we'll get this job done. I'll show you how we stab fish. Catch you later. Hey guys, looks like I'm a lone wolf tonight. Old Bill couldn't make it. He had family problems. Didn't sound good. Sound like there's a death in the family or something. So I'm a solo hunter. I'm a night stalker now. I've got the old mud puppy here. I got the lights on. Hey, Let's hope there's fish here, huh? Let's get out here and check them out. I see the horseshoe crabs are breeding. See them horseshoe crabs? Get my spotlight on them. This time of year, them things are breeding. They're looking for mates now. I was in here one night, a year or two ago, and these things were piled up here on top of one another, breeding right here. And I had some old crappy shoes on, and them shoes fell apart. I was in stocking feet, and I had to cross over them jokers. You talk about something giving you the heebie-jeebies, guys. Crawling over them things. That's my kill gig here. And then, actually this is my main stab gig here. And then this one here, I do a foul-up shot with it. So I just stick them right here in the holsters. Let me pull out a little bit here. I don't know about this clarity of this water yet. It doesn't look all that wonderful. We've had a lot of rains. You know, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I get over here by the mangroves, it'll be prettier. I don't know. This don't look all that exciting to me. We'll see. I gotta tilt these lights up a little bit. They're way too close here to the boat. It's been a whole year since I've been out here. Yeah, that looks good right about there. Pull that one up about there. Got the old thermostat cooking. There's mosquitoes out here big enough to have sex with turkeys. So yeah, I got this going on here. Thermostat. What did I ever do with before the thermostat? I must have been getting my butt chewed up. Yeah, let me get this old riptide in the water here. I'll tell you what, guys, this riptide thing here, I have literally put this puppy through hell. If you guys want a good trolling motor that can take a lot of abuse, this is the baby right here. Yeah. I got to get her adjusted here. That takes a minute or two. There she is. Alrighty. Got two things of ice. Cooler there, cooler there. Now I got to run down here to the end of this island and got to drop her a little. It's about 9:45. I'm supposed to have a high tide at 11. So yeah. Yeah, this is the only motor you need. I run this thing, this riptide here, it's 50 riptide. I run this thing for 4 hours straight. I've never had it run out of juice. These headlamps have never run out. I've got an LED bar about 4 foot long, and if these lights go out on me, I'll just go over to an LED. I didn't bring it with me. I should have probably, but I didn't. And yeah, that's pretty much the view I've got. A lot of grass blowed up here. We've had some blows, some rain come through earlier. About 7 o'clock we had a pretty good slug of rain come through. And yeah. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. I really won't know until I get along these mangroves over here. See, you got a little shimmer on this water. Well, this is the thing with an east wind. I need an east wind here because I'm coming in on the west side of these mangroves over here. So that wind's all coming from the back side. So I'll have the protection of the mangroves to, you know, block the wind. So I need water that's doesn't have any shimmer on it so I can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, you're wasting your time out here. You're just guessing at. You really can't. You've got redfish, and they look awfully close to a mullet, and you can't stick those. That's a game fish. You can't. I can't be. We may come across some snook out here. You talk about a good eating fish. That snook is excellent. But you can't get those either. If you get caught, guys, spearing fish and put them in your boat, they're going to take your boat. You're going to take your truck, and they're going to impound all that, and they may throw your butt in jail depending on how much illegal fish you have. But it gets so costly, it's ridiculous. You can buy a whole truckload of fish for what you're going to get, you know, on your fine. So don't be getting goofy and killing fish that you ain't supposed to be killing. I can get mullet out here, I can get sheephead, and I can get drum. I can spear stingrays if I want to. If I wanted to kill a shark, I could get one of them too. I have seen some bonnethead sharks out here. But I don't usually fool with the sharks. I used to eat them years ago, but I kind of lost my taste for them. If you don't knock the head off of them things, as soon as they hit the deck and rip the guts out, they pee internally, and you get this ammonia smelling meat. It is just plain nasty. But now they don't even want you to do that. They don't want you to cut the head off. So they want identification. I guess the only thing you can do is open up the carcass, but we always knock the tail off and the head, and then gut them, and that way they bleed out nice. And yeah, you get a pretty good tasting fish. I'm not, like I say, I'm not all that crazy about them. I'm going to go to this point right over here. There's a point. You see that red light just off there? Right there's a point of that mangrove. I normally go down further, but I'm going to just shoot down this leg right here back to the landing. And yeah, I'm not far from the landing on this thing, which is kind of nice. I've never had any competition out here. That's good. Yeah. Maybe they're afraid of the dark. I don't know. I was hoping you guys could see some fish. And there's probably fish right up here in front of this light, right out of my kill shot, that I can't see. A lot of times they'll track right in front of you, right out just in front of them lights, on the edge of the lights. And I can usually reach out and tag them. It's still a little bit of northeast wind here. I've got a little ripple here yet. It's at around 11 o'clock, right about high tide, it's going to shift due east. And when it does, this thing will be flat as a pancake in here. And that will help me, but the water clarity is not very good at all. And it's just due to all these rains we've had. Well guys, looks like I got one. Get my headlamp on here. Boy, that current's really pulling me. That current's really coming in hard right now. Let's see what we got here. Decent fish. Decent fish, guys. Get this bag out of here. Put the bag back on top. Yeah, that's what they look like, fellas. Florida mullet. Nice size. Female, probably. Yeah, one night I was out here, I got 27 of them things. Not a bad haul. This, I gotta get my headlamp. If I have my headlamp on, you'll spook them. So don't leave your headlamp on, okay? Yeah, it's not good, guys. I hate to leave with just one fish, but I got a little more edge here to go yet. Maybe we'll get lucky. When I made the big swing out, I was out there 100 yards offshore and ran into a pretty good sized pack of them out there, but they were moving fast. I mean, you couldn't get a shot on them if you wanted to. Yeah. We've had all these rains, this hurricane action, all this. I got this river behind me and it's just sucking out all that tannic, tannic water. And it's just got this thing looking like tea. Brewed tea. Yep. And he looks about 14. Yeah, he's looking about 14. They're good eating. Yeah, they're good eating. Get this spear on this side. Keep my kill stick on this side. And my big spear over on this side. Another luck shot, guys. Another luck shot. Oh well. Take them any way we can get them, right? I could just make out them prisoner stripes on that thing. Just could make them out. And it just so happened was kind of good. I had the motor off and it was kind of drifting on its own. Because if I would have clicked that motor and saw him, he would have darted. But I was just kind of drifting just like that. See, I turn it on. Get a little forward momentum. It's really nice when when this tide switches, because it'll be going out. Right now it's coming this way. I gotta get my headlight off. I'm screwing up here. I'm gonna be spooking fish. Plus I can't see good with the headlight on. Looks like my clarity is cleaning up a little bit. Oop. There was one right there. She's cleaning up a little, but not a lot. There was two of them right there. They weren't gonna sit for none of my shenanigans. What's really nice, you can bump this thing if the current is, if you work the current just right, you can bump it and then the current will pull you. So you're just real stealthy like going on, and the lights themselves don't really spook them. It's any noises. That's why I padded this bump rail here. I'm leaning again. If your belt buckle hits that rail, it just sends it right through the boat and they're gone. Yeah. Or this clicking of this motor, and there's no way to stop that. There's a trout I just went over. Can't stick those. Game fish. Yeah, you don't want to play games out here. These guys are watching me right now with night vision. I guarantee there's some boys up here on this causeway watching me with infrared night vision stuff, watching every move I make. I guarantee it. These old boys are sly now. No need to try to trick them, because they will get you and your wallet. They will get into your pocketbook big time. See some ladyfish down there swimming around. They're worthless. They're a worthless piece of meat. Well, trip my motor. Yeah, all thing got a cam on it. You can adjust your tension side to side, and this cam you slide up your depth. That's all that is. Works good. All right, guys. Appreciate you stopping in with old Steve-O, and we'll give it a try another time. Right now, I've got my dinner for tomorrow. That's all that matters, I guess, huh? I'll catch you guys on the next show. Be happy. Bye-bye.